What's up guys, welcome back to the Creative Pineapple. Today we are going to be creating texture and looking for texture, which is why we are outside. So let's get started, let's walk around and let's find something textured. For all of you following along at home, watch this part to see what I'm looking for, and then you're gonna pause the video, go outside and find some things with cool textures, okay? Let's go, peace. Okay, that was a good texture. Also, I found this leaf, which has cool designs and textures on the bottom of it. So maybe we can match that texture. We had the wood of the fence over there. Oh, and oh, look, there is tree texture over here. You can see the bark. So let's look at that really close. Maybe we can take a rubbing of that. Actually gonna take a little piece off. That's harder than I thought it would be. Take a little piece off. There we go, so we got some bark. And, oh, look at this wall. We got nice textures on this wall as well. So keep looking for everywhere you might see textures that you might not think to. Oh, look at that little bug. There's a little bug on the wall. That's, I believe, a little baby ladybug before they turn into ladybugs. All right, so this is great, that's going well. Let's go find some other textures. Continue walking. Whew, it's windy and bright today, but that's all right. So we're gonna try to find something else. Maybe, oof. We've got some interesting plants in here. So let's look at these really close and see if we can find something beautiful here. So we're gonna look for something else. I kind of want to find a flower so that I can make like a cool picture of someone climbing it maybe. I haven't decided. Oh look, okay. Key point here. Do not pick your mother's flowers. Do not pick flowers that are in a nice arrangement like this. That is not appropriate, okay? These are someone curated them, took care of them. Don't mess that up. However, you might find some that are already fallen over, like this one right here. Or find some other ones that are wildly growing in the fields. I'm gonna use this one because I found it already broken, already falling over. I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm not gonna pick any other ones, okay? So once you take it, then we can look at the texture of this one really close. Oh, it's got some cool textures on there. All right, so we went outside, we collected materials. Now we have 3 materials here. We got some flowers, we got a leaf, and we got a piece of bark, okay? Anything you want to do is fine. I am going to use this leaf because it will be helpful for the Art 2 project, which you don't have to worry about if you're in Art 1, but we do have to do this either way. So you're gonna take your paper, take your object, take your pencil, any kind of pencil. You can use basically anything that writes for this. If you find one of those rocks that writes, cool. If you have a broken piece of a crayon, cool. If you have these little shavings, cool. Anything that makes markings on paper is fine. So what we're gonna do first of all is we gotta take our object. You don't have to use tape. I'm gonna use tape just to demonstrate. But we're gonna choose where we want it, tape it down. I want only a little bit of tape on it because I want to be able to see mostly the object, not the tape. And whatever is on the surface is going to show through. So I'm gonna put that down. Put some other tiny tapes over here. Put maybe a tiny tape up at this tip. Make sure it wraps around and it still shows the shape of the leaf. Okay, that's fine. That's decently stable. And then when we put the paper on top of it and we put that down, that should help as well. So I'm gonna put tape on here. So that everything gets holding still. Again, you don't have to use tape for this. If you don't have tape or you just don't want to use it, that's fine. All it's doing is helping you keep the paper steady. So you're gonna use what you can to make your paper steady, to make sure it doesn't move very much. This pencil I've taken and I picked the wood back a little bit so that I have a lot of lead sticking out. You can sharpen it more if you want to. You're gonna have as much lead sticking out as you can, and then basically all you're gonna do is rub over it. I usually hold my pencil like this, so it's sideways, and that way I can get a lot of lead on the paper at once, like this, okay? So I'm gonna start up there, that line we're seeing right there, that's the tape, okay? So again, we gotta be careful because everything you use is gonna show through the paper. But now that we start getting down here, we see very clearly the outlines of that leaf. And then I know on this leaf that there are some bumps that go sideways. So I'm gonna try to find a way where I can hold my pencil and work on the sideways one so I can see if I can find those bumps in there. Because I know it has the veins in there somewhere. Sometimes they come through, sometimes they don't. It depends on how bumpy your leaf is and how hard you're pressing. Oh, there we got a little bit of veins right there. See if we can get some other ones. It's taking some pretty heavy pressure to do this, so don't be afraid to push hard, but be careful because it can easily tear through your paper. Do the same thing on this side, see if I can find any more of the veins in the leaf. These veins are what carry water throughout the leaf. You might have to try a couple different angles. The more you work on it, the better it's gonna look. Just be patient because these things take time. I'm going a little bit fast so you can see along the edge I've got these jagged edges. People use really soft materials like pastels or crayons or charcoal. Pencils should work fine. All right, so we're gonna get our rubbing. I wanna see that texture. Whatever object you chose, I wanna see the texture. What does it look like? We're gonna put that on your paper, and then you're gonna take a picture of this with your Chromebook and upload it for me to see. And I will post a video tutorial on how to do that. Probably won't be from me, but that's okay. And if you're in Art 1, you're done. Congratulations, you went outside, you found a texture, you used value and pressure to make the texture pop out, and now you have a textured piece of paper. Now, the two things with this are, one, we have implied texture, because when you look at it, you can see the texture of the leaf. You can see the little veins, you can see this part sticking up in the middle, you can see the edges are more turned up than the rest because they're darker, but you also have real texture. Because if I take this leaf out, and you won't be able to see this on the video, but if you try this with your own paper, you'll be able to see it. And even with no leaf, you're still able to feel the texture because it's sticking out of the paper. So remember, real texture is stuff you can actually feel. That's why it's also called actual texture. Actual texture. So we have real texture and we have actual texture. Those are the same thing. Implied texture is just what it looks like. It looks like you can feel it. Okay, so if you're in Art 1, this is done. You finished, congratulations, that's your project. If you're in Art 2 and you submit this to me, you will get a 50% because that is half of your project. The other half of your project, not project, assignment, is you have to make either a character or a story with your texture, okay? So you make a texture or a character or a story. I'm going to show you an example of both. These are going to be quick versions because I want to leave most of the creativity up to you. But I want you to know that anyone can create art, and whatever you want to do is completely fine. I just need to see a character or a story. Okay, I'm getting a little bit carried away, and this doesn't need to be that complicated. It can just be something quick and simple, but we got a little character. I started drawing kind of a bug. I can add wings, shade in the background, start making the face look more like an actual face. All of that is up to you. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It just needs to be, draw as best you can a character, okay? Or the other option is you can draw something that tells a story. So what you could do with that is maybe this represents a building, and there's a street, and we've got each building looks like a leaf, right? Okay, but in this one, we've got, you can tell stories with something as simple as a stick figure. So let's say we got a person walking around down here and he's like, whoa, there's a big old thing. But actually he's a construction worker. So he's got his helmet on, he's got a hammer, he's working on building this thing. So then we gotta have some scaffolding if there's people building. So let's build some scaffolding. Actually, let's try to work in some of that perspective stuff we've been learning, since you guys are doing enough to know that now. So if we're gonna build some scaffolding in there, we build just a regular rectangle, and then everything goes off towards the vanishing point, which is right here. We're gonna build it up. We've got some scaffolds, put some lines in there to make it look like scaffolding. We've got maybe a worker working up here. He's working on the leaf on the stem part. And we got somebody working way up here. Maybe he's sitting on this vein. And he's eating his sandwich. And we got someone else over here. And they're like, ooh, let's put him right here. Hanging down from the leaf on a swing. And they are painting the leaf. Give them a little paintbrush. And maybe from there, there's like just a bucket, and it's filled with paint, and we got some drips falling down. Okay, so we can add on to it, make it tell a story. So here we got a story going on, here we've got a character, that's all good, okay? Do your best, take a texture. If you're in Art 1, show me your texture. If you're in Art 2, show me a character or a story. And you guys are good. This is going to be great. Take a picture, upload it for me, and have some fun.